Good morning, good morning. Just a very quick video on the Kia Niro 2020 plug-in hybrid. It's going to be quick because I'm late as usual. So what I'm going to do is check how much of the battery is reserved in the HEV mode. So if we have a look, okay, so I sent the destination to the car via UVO, but if we go to home, so we've got 99% battery, 33 miles. I'm going to drive on HEV mode and we'll see how much of the battery gets retained. It's mainly motorway, so it's about 4 miles until the motorway, then about 28 miles and then another couple of miles off the motorway. So I'll speak to you shortly. Okay, so I just finished playing golf. I didn't have time to finish this before I got here, but as you can see, 97%, 33 miles, still got a 33 mile range. So it does reserve the battery, it does save the battery. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is get home again, which is another 35 miles on the motorway, a bit of A roads as well. But on the way here I was doing generally 70, 75, 80. And I'm going to do the same on the way home. So there's some A roads which is sort of 30, 40 miles an hour, and then we'll get onto the motorway and I'll be taking it a little bit slower on the way home, because obviously 75, 80 is going to be, the petrol engine is going to be kicking in. But if I'm doing around 65, 70, then it's got a chance of using the EV, it's got a chance of switching to EV and using the battery. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to keep it in HEV mode and see what range and battery information we have when I get home. So I shall see you again in a bit. Okay, I'm now home. Interestingly, it's on 95%, 33 miles. So what I noticed on the way home was there's a sweet spot between 65 and 70 miles an hour where the car will be using the gas, we're using the petrol engine, and it will be charging the battery at the same time. I actually got this up to 98% on the motorway. Ironically, still 33 miles range. So I'm not quite sure why that. It's maybe something to do with my driving style or something like that, but it got right the way up to 98% and it's still showing 33 miles. So if you are in certain conditions, so between 65 and 70, you are able to keep a fair amount of the charge. Now bearing in mind, when this gets down to about 11 or 12%, it switches to normal hybrid mode. It will not run on EV only. So say 95%, you're only really getting 83% of the battery. To further explain that, if we have a look here, you'll see in blue, that is your plug-in hybrid power, let's call it that, and in white is your normal hybrid power. So if you were in EV only, then it would use all of the blue battery until you get to about 12%, which would then come down to the white, which will act like a normal hybrid then. So when you're driving the car around, even though it's HEV mode, it's acting like a normal hybrid, but instead of taking the white consumption, obviously it will use the blue. So you're always going to be using, you're never going to be able to conserve the whole 100% battery, because it needs a certain percent of the battery power to act like a normal hybrid. But so I would say if you're on A roads 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, you could probably you'd probably be using sort of up to 10, 15% of the battery in HEV mode. Automatic mode, it will choose whatever it wants, whatever's the most efficient. So it will use battery whenever it can and then switch to the petrol engine. So I think that's a pretty good test. You can save a certain percentage of the battery while you're on the motorway. So you can choose HEV mode, keep it between 65, 70, or even 70, 75, as I did on the way to where I was going, using the energy flow meter in the dash, which is that one. So you can see there, to keep an eye on what you're doing. So yeah, you can keep a good percentage of the battery. So if you're on motorway travel going to a city, put it in HEV mode, watch the energy flow, and you'll have lots of EV for when you get to the city, making it ultra efficient. So I hope that's been helpful for you guys and girls. As ever, if there's anything you want to know about the Kia Niro 2020, then please ask, and I'll do whatever tests I can. Tomorrow I'm going into the city, so I'll be completely battery only. So I might reset the clocks and just see what kind of what my driving style, what difference it makes to EV range. I might charge it tonight to 100% and then see what range it's telling me when I get back tomorrow. Depends if I can. We do some storms tonight, so it depends whether I can be bothered to charge it up or not. But I'll have plenty more videos coming up. Still yet to do a nighttime video and the infotainment as well. Still getting used to the infotainment, but that will be coming soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Cheers.